Data center infrastructure management. 10 real-world scenarios where DCIM matters. Effectively managing your data center's physical infrastructure was once a business goal. Today, it's a business necessity. As data centers get larger and more complex, the sheer volume of information and equipment involved makes it impossible to operate a data center supported by yesterday's solutions. Data center infrastructure management, or DCIM, is essential to optimizing data center performance. DCIM software helps operators bridge the gap between IT and facilities to safely optimize power, cooling, and space capacities across the entire data center infrastructure. In the process, the data center becomes a key contributor to business value, not just a cost center. If you own a data center, operate a data center, or anticipate deploying one in the future, here are 10 real-world scenarios where DCIM matters. Number 1. When a UPS goes on battery, what other devices are impacted and what parts of the business are at risk? To understand this question, consider the difference between the dashboards of a 1967 VW Beetle and a 2012 Toyota Prius. In the Beetle, monitoring is limited to the distance the car has traveled, how fast you're going, and how much gas is left in the tank, similar to the data you receive with the device-level monitoring in traditional data centers. In the Prius, the dashboard gives us all of that information, and much more. Now you also know how many more miles you can drive before running out of fuel, how many miles per gallon you are getting in real time, and when you need to get your next oil change. The Prius takes you from device-based monitoring to context-aware monitoring. It takes all the collected data and adds context to it. Armed with this information, you now know the fuel in your tank will only take you 25 miles, so you plan to stop at the next gas station. In the same way, DCIM provides you with the actionable information about your data center. That's why the data center managers now depend on DCIM. It takes data center monitoring to the next level and makes effective management of data centers' physical infrastructure possible. Number 2. How do you know when it's safe to move a virtual machine? It's critical to have real-time data about the health of both your IT infrastructure and your physical infrastructure before you move a virtual machine. Typically, this information lives in different silos. The IT guys have all the information about their servers, and the facilities folks know how much power and cooling is required to run those servers. This siloed approach makes it difficult to manage a highly dynamic virtualized environment. DCIM brings IT and facilities under one roof, meaning you've got access to information from both sides. Now you can be certain there are sufficient resources available before you move a virtual machine. DCIM can also provide automated intelligence and modeling of the physical infrastructure capacities, showing you the best place to migrate a virtual machine and simulating the effect of the proposed change. With this awareness, virtualization can fulfill its potential for delivering optimal efficiency and increased business value. Number 3. How do you know what impact a data center event will have? The story of the blindfolded man and the elephant illustrates the situation that many companies find themselves in regarding their data center. In the parable, each blindfolded man touches a different part of the elephant and guesses what they think they feel. Now think of your data center as the elephant and your IT and facilities teams as the blindfolded men. The facilities team is looking at one set of parameters while the IT team is looking at another. They can't see the whole picture. That's where DCIM comes into play. By providing complete data center visibility and transparency, DCIM lets everyone see what impact an action may have on the other aspects of the data center. It also facilitates quick identification and resolution of problems as they arise. Number 4. How do you guard against running out of capacity? Capacity management is a critical aspect of managing a high-density, virtualized data center. A DCIM system can dynamically respond to changing capacity requirements. It can automatically dissipate hotspots by cranking up the fans, migrate virtual machines to free up more space, or power down unused equipment to reduce stranded capacity. Without DCIM, data center operators typically do not have the information they need to effectively deploy new equipment at the rate required by their business. They cannot answer basic questions like, when will I reach the limit of my current power and cooling infrastructure and require additional capacity? Or, can I deploy new hardware technology such as blade servers by using my existing power and cooling infrastructure? DCIM provides visibility to their data center's current capacities and enables operators to analyze and plan for future capacity needs. Number 5. How do you decide where the next server goes? True story. A data center manager in New York was concerned about provisioning a server in his London data center, so he flew there to place a post-it note on the rack position he wanted to reserve, just to ensure the power and cooling could support the additional server. Too bad he didn't have DCIM in place. He could have saved the trip. With DCIM, he would have known the average and peak power usage of every rack across his entire data center. He could have reviewed what-if scenarios to investigate the impact of different rack placements. And based on his knowledge and findings, he could have determined the optimal placement for his new server and marked it without ever leaving his computer. Number 6. What unauthorized changes made in the data center are affecting availability? For many companies, the data center is like the wild, wild west. No one knows exactly what is going on in the data center as a whole, who's coming in, who's removing stuff, and who's moving things around. But the data center manager feels what's going on in his data center. You know the type. He's probably got decades of experience. He knows his data center inside and out and can sense when something's not right. He's the go-to guy when anything goes wrong and you fear the day he quits or retires. You know relying this much on one person is risky, but it seems like your only option. Not so with DCIM. DCIM doesn't just feel what's going on, it knows it. By breaking down the silos between IT and facilities and providing total visibility to all parts of the data center, DCIM allows you to see how changes are affecting availability and to fix those that are having a negative impact. Number 7. How efficient is your data center and thereby your business? Data centers account for up to 2% of the national electricity usage in the United States and most European countries. With energy costs rising, data centers have become key cost drivers for companies worldwide. DCIM gives these managers the information they need to improve data center efficiency. It provides a high-level overview of the energy usage and cost, as well as a breakdown for each kilowatt is actually spent. Armed with such data, organizations can take measurements to improve energy efficiency while at the same time reducing the cost of running the data center. Number 8. How do you communicate your data center's critical metrics? Capturing information around your data center's key performance indicators is essential to improving performance and efficiency. You need to know things like, when will I run out of power and cooling capacity? What's my current server utilization? Do I have any servers that can be retired? If so, which ones? DCIM automates the collection and distribution of such data and makes it visible to managers in a simplified, timely fashion. Number 9. How do you stay connected when on the move? Given the criticality of data center operations to businesses today, it is essential for data center managers to have visibility into their DCIM systems at all times, wherever they may be, in the office, at home, or halfway around the world. DCIM software makes real-time data available anytime, anywhere on laptops, tablets, and phones. Number 10. Do you have the time and resources to implement DCIM? When you're deciding on a DCIM solution, remember to consider what type of implementation support you may need. Do you have the capacity to install the software, configure the software, integrate it with your other systems, educate your staff on how to use it? If the answer to any of these questions is no, a certified engineer can help you deploy DCIM in your data center efficiently and effectively. Data center infrastructure management helps companies optimize their power, cooling, and space capacities across their entire data center. In the process, these companies transform their data centers from cost generators to producers of business value, where DCIM increases availability, improves resource utilization, and cuts operational costs. To learn more, visit www.schneider-electric.com.